View, Arkansas, population 2,178. Salute! Every third weekend in April, this town explodes with the annual Arkansas Folk Festival. And if you happen to have a mountain dulcimer, by all means, bring it along. Since the early 60s, the Arkansas Folk Festival has been one of the top music festivals in the state.
Well, it's great. It's great. Mountain View is a fantastic place to live. I've been here about 21 years, and I definitely will not be leaving anywhere soon. I fell off a turnip truck coming through here, and I've been here ever since.
Mountain View isn't called the folk music capital of the world for nothing. Here, there's folk music everywhere, around the court square, on front porches, in the streets, and all over the town's park. Folk musician Nellie Branscombe reminisced about performing with folk music legend Jimmy Driftwood of Mountain View.
Jimmy Driftwood went all over not only the country, but he went to Japan and Germany. He advertised Mountain View and the Folk Festival and the Jimmy Driftwood Barn. He advertised them everywhere he went. When I first came here in 1981, it was kind of a little dead horse town. When it closed off at 5, it was like dead and buried. I'd never been in such an awful place. I wanted to go home to DeQueen. But anyway, that was the only year it was that dead. Jimmy's work, his advertising, paid off. And from then on, there's just people ever since. And I love them. They're good folks. So I always pray that they will leave here having been blessed, and they are a blessing.
Back in the festival started, this is where you come when I was a kid, and you know, I'm glad to see the music still going strong like it was, because that gave us all a place to come to, you know, on it. And you know, it kind of fizzled out a little, but now it's picking back up, and everybody's glad of that. We've worked hard, you know, to get it back going again.
Well, I enjoy it every time I come out here. We come and visit my mom, my stepdad, and I just enjoy music anyway. I play a little bit in bluegrass, country. I'm into that a lot more, the modern folk. And this roots music that we're hearing, it's the root of everything. You know, it's the root of, you know, blues and country and bluegrass are the roots of rock and roll. If it was not for this, there would be no rock and roll. And that's what I love about it. It's got heart, it's got feeling, and it's got soul, everything you want. I enjoy this music, I enjoy this festival. I mean, it just, everybody's real around here, and that's what I enjoy about it.
Well, my husband and I are from Monroe, Louisiana, but we moved to Arkansas not too long ago, and we now live in Beebe, Arkansas. And we've been coming here maybe about 2 years, the Folk Festival. I think this is our second year. And it's great. I mean, it gives everyone an opportunity to experience several different locations at the square and beyond of really great music. And it can turn you on to some really great music too.
Hey,
Yeah.
folk music capital of the world.
Absolutely, yes, yes.
It's been a joy and a pleasure to be the mayor here, and actually just being a kid and running wild here as a kid in the summer months. You know, we'd come and lay out on pallets, you know, and go to sleep at night while your parents still played out on the square. So it's been enjoyable, you know, and it's a good place for our kids to come and enjoy themselves and kind of just turn them loose, I guess you could say. That's what they say anyway, just turn them loose. And we have, of course, the Music Roots group, you know, they're really involved in our music on our squares right now, and we just had some young kids that, you know, they had been out doing some trips here and there and helping promote their little town here, a group called Twang. And of course we got Possum Juice. I don't know where they come with their names, but they sure come up with them, and they sure come up with good music. And you know, they're actually better than I am for sure. Of course it don't take much, you know, to be better than me, but I really appreciate those folks and appreciate y'all coming up. And maybe we can get together and play a little bit. I understand you're a dulcimer player.
Oh, yeah, man, a little bit, yeah. I think maybe I need a few more lessons. Music is a way of life in Mountain View. It's passed down from generation to generation. Every other kid in town can either play an instrument, sing, dance, or do all three, such as 11-year-old Mary Parker along with her brother Gordon.
I watched when I was 4. I watched RFD and I seen the fiddle, and I was like, I want to learn that instrument. So we came up here to Mountain View, and I found a fiddle that I liked, and it was my favorite. So I picked it out, and then I had my first lesson here at the music store. And then that was when I was 5 and a half. So that's how I started.
So you can play the fiddle, you can sing, you can dance?
Yes.
My goodness.
Yes.
And you're only how old?
11.
That's amazing. Well, you have, I guess you want to make a career out of this, right?
Yes.
Well,
yes, sir.
we thank you so much, and we wish you the best of luck.
Okay, thank you very
Yes.
much.
We really appreciate all of our musicians, wherever they come from. You know, it's always good to come to Mountain View and see some people and hear their stories, see what they've got. You never know behind their eyes where they've been and what they've seen, and of course they bring a little bit of part of them here when they come to Mountain View, you know, and that's what's unique about Mountain View. You're all on the same playing field when you play music here, pretty much.
It's kind of what America's all about here.
It sure is, Chuck. It sure is.
And that's the way it's done in Mountain View. It's been described by Southern Living magazine as a secluded, enchanted paradise, Longbow and Prim. And I guarantee you that a visit here will stay with you for the rest of your life. Longbow is a place where you can go off the grid, as they say, live like Ozark Bluff dwellers did, and yet still enjoy all the modern amenities. But first, we need to fill you in on how Longbow became Longbow. It all has to do with preserving a family's legacy. That legacy was Ben Pearson of Pine Bluff, who became world famous for developing his passion for archery into a new industry and sport that's currently enjoyed by millions of people worldwide. And for that, he's recognized as the father of modern archery. In 1966, Pearson bought this secluded Ozark paradise in Prim from a newspaper ad and had a vision for a one-of-a-kind Ozark retreat.
I think maybe it might have been the Wall Street Journal. And he saw an ad that said something like 2 waterfalls and a farmhouse and a barn, wildlife, deer. Yeah, I'm going to go look at that. So he came up and he saw, he said, I want to see that waterfall first, you know. So they took him down the canyon. We hiked up the creek and he saw the waterfall. And he says, oh, I've got to buy that, you know. And then plans right away. He bought the property and started getting a friend of his that was an architect to design a house, which he did, and real beautiful 3-story or 2-story house, a lot of glass, and material was coming in, the plans were done, and last minute, Dad said, oh, no, that's going to block the natural view of everything, you know, and not blend in with it like I think I can do if I just stick it in like where it is right now. So as good as those other plans were, he did away with that and sketched just a very small on a little piece of paper, and had some of his guys that worked for him in the Pine Bluff area come up and start building it, you know, and he would come in and just check on them, you know, every now and then. And that's how it started.
And blend it in, he did. You say there's people that come here that they focus on the waterfall. They don't even notice that that's there.
Well, you know, the waterfall it's kind of catches your attention and your focus, and you're just entranced by it. I mean, you can just sit. A lot of folks can just sit here all day and just look at the waterfall and not do anything. So that's what happens when people come down the road. The waterfall catches their attention and they just walk right by the walkway and, oh, where's the cabin? Oh, well, yeah, we walked right by it.
Ben Pearson Jr., along with son Benjamin, now continue the vision and legacy that stems from the Longbow cabin to others, which has been quite the architectural and constructional challenge and feat to situate the cabins either between the huge rocks or on top of them.
Mainly a lot of time. That's the architectural feat. Lots of time. So do we do it this way? Do we do it that way?
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, you come up with some creative things to do that, and sometimes we had to literally take an axe and go into some rock, you know, on the foundations on that. Believe it or not, you know, might have been easier with a jackhammer, but we did had to cut out a couple of small corners, you know, and to get some foundation points in, more at the Sovereign cabin than the others. And then we used some innovative techniques with chicken wire to kind of seal the floor, the wooden floor, and rock to get, you know, to meld that together. And that's, you know, that was 16 years ago at the Bushmaster. And that seems to be holding together so far.
Now the Ozark one, that one is, I mean, you kind of just like literally set it on top of the boulders.
Yeah, it's like half of it's on slab and the other half of it is suspended out over a big boulder. You know, it's kind of on ground level on halfway and in a treetop on the other half of it. See, so yeah, and that was just finding a big rock that we thought would be stable. So far it is. It's a pretty big rock.
You know, I grew up hunting and hiking around in the canyons and on the bluff lines and stuff, so that kind of led into me rock climbing and really getting out into nature and the outdoors and backpacking and everything. You know, different people enjoy different aspects of the property. A lot of the A lot of younger people want to get out and really hike and do more of the activities and ride four-wheelers. And some of the older people that don't want to hike as much, they enjoy just the peace and tranquility of the property and just kind of relaxing at the cabin and relaxing on the hammock and just being at the cabin.
If you do get tired of hammocking, there are plenty of hiking trails to wear out. Longbow Falls Trail will take you to the top of Longbow Falls for a really nice view. Or you can take the Bushmaster Trail to Diana's Pool and Falls.
We originally named it after the goddess of the hunt, Diana, and I'm also Diana. So it's right above Bushmaster Cabin. It's about a probably 10 to 15 minute hike up here. And as you can see right now, it's running a little bit. When it rains a lot, it's a lot heavier, but if it's not rained at all, then it's still always going to be a pool here. And
this is just one of, what, 5 hiking trails?
There's several hiking trails. A few of them lead to waterfalls. This is one of them, but there are several ones, like one on the north side, and as you know, the Longbow Cabin has a 30-foot waterfall too, but this is one of our favorites.
Before we leave this little chunk of Ozark paradise, Paulette Pearson wanted to share part of a poem with us that reflects and embraces the family's archery heritage.
A poem by Maurice Thompson, the author of Witchery of Archery, dated 1928. This is a quote. "So long as the new moon returns in heaven, a bent, beautiful bow, so long will the fascination of archery keep hold of the hearts of men."
It was called Arkansas's dream town, Ravenden Springs, which happens to be one of the oldest settlements in the state. It all began in 1880 when a Methodist minister, Reverend William Bailey, had a dream of a healing spring at the bottom of Halls Creek Canyon near where the Baileys lived. In his dream, Reverend Bailey, after drinking from the spring, was cured of his lingering stomach ailment. So that led him to try out the spring for real, and after drinking from it several times, he had complete relief of his stomach problem. And so the nickname Dreamtown was soon applied to the community that grew up around the spring. About 50 yards up from Bailey's stomach spring is Eye Spring. Its waters supposedly cured sore eyes. Eventually, 3 other springs were discovered in the canyon, each with its own healing property, or so it was claimed. Arthritis Spring, Kidney Spring, and Heart Spring. As news of the healing spring spread, and folks started coming in from all over, it didn't take long for the 40-room Southern Hotel to be built just above the main stomach spring, with steps leading down to the spring. The geography of this area also made it feasible and attractive for settlers.
This part of the state is the first hilly area you enter when you enter from Missouri. Everything south and east of us was flat swampland, full of snakes and mosquitoes and disease, and not many wagons made it through there. All the settling of Arkansas came through this county because anything south or east of here was flat as a pancake and hard to get through. So they followed the foothills of the Ozarks, and Randolph County is the first place in Arkansas that you find those hills. So that's why everything came through here first. We had the first post office in Arkansas, the first land office, the first courthouse. It was all Arkansas territory then. It wasn't Arkansas yet. And in fact, these things, a lot of them were there before Arkansas territory was formed. It was part of Missouri at the time. So we have a long, long history here.
Hiking through Halls Creek Canyon is quite the adventure in itself. You'll first come upon the documented site of Arkansas's first school, which happens to be a cave.
An ancestor of mine, Caleb Lindsay, formed the first school in Arkansas in this cave, in this canyon, shortly after the Louisiana Purchase. I know that my other ancestors were among the first settlers in the county, and it's just a matter of looking back in the history. I can tell you from what's written on the wall back here that page 43 of Lawrence Dalton's History of Randolph County tells the full story of this cave, and that's what I'm going to go home and read later today.
If you can just imagine this cave being a schoolhouse in around 1817 or so, and all the children of the area having to make their way down this canyon, and what with all black bears in this region, just to come here to get an education. Now that's something. Beside the school cave is what is known as the Blue Pool, said to be bottomless. Another quarter mile or less, you'll come to Elephant Cave. No elephants here, though. It's so named for its large size. Above Elephant Cave, about 20 feet or so in the face of the bluff, is Raven's Den. Although difficult to spot through the foliage, early explorers reported ravens nesting there in a small cave. And so, from Raven's Den plus the springs, hence the name Ravenden Springs. Just up from Elephant Cave around the bend, rising some 75 feet from the canyon floor, is Lone Rock, quite an impressive column of rock that over eons has separated from the canyon wall and stands as a monolith. Halls Creek Canyon in Ravenden Springs is quite the place to see and explore.
It's a wonderful place for a kid to grow up out in the woods and running up and down the canyon, getting lost and getting found. And I was here in the 50s, and my kids were here in the 80s, and my grandkids are here now. And it'd be a wonderful place to develop and get a little more people to come and see what Ravenden Springs has down here in the canyon. We'd invite everybody to come and look, and especially people that might want to help us develop it.
This was quite the place back when folks used to come down from St. Louis and Chicago for those healing springs.
Waters was something back in the 1800s that, like I mentioned, that my dad came to Ravenden Springs and Heber Springs and Hot Springs, and him and everybody back then drank the water, swam in it, put it on their eyes, and hoped that it would work. And so But the spa days were back around 1880, and things have moved on, and everybody has their own doctor now.
But you can still take in the water at Bailey's Stomach Spring, if you so desire. So go out on an adventure for yourself in Ravenden Springs and explore all the interesting sights and features along Halls Creek Canyon. And to view this episode again or any one of our others, visit our website at aetn.org/exploringarkansas. And don't forget to like us on our Facebook fan page. And we'll see you again the next time for another exciting adventure on Exploring Arkansas.